Public service announcement. The Maserati Gran Turismo is not a Chrysler. So we are actually in the 2017 Maserati Gran Turismo, the special 1 out of 400 edition. So I wanted to really elaborate on this topic. This is not for the old school Maserati enthusiast. This is normally for the new school kids who are just getting into the brand or just hearing about the brand. They watch Doug DeMuro's video and they might think they know everything about the brand. But this car is a 10-year-old design, and I know that this topic has come up plenty of times. You'll see it in the video where this car got a lot of hate. This car is not a product of the FCA. This does not have Chrysler parts in it whatsoever. You know, when they say, you know, this car's cheap, they're charging way too much for this, you know, it's just a Chrysler, blah, 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 blah. You know, I had to make an individual video, which is a shame, on why this car is not a Chrysler. And I'm not saying that it's technically worth the money. That's not what I'm saying. Just because it doesn't have Chrysler parts means that you need to pay full price for this, because that's not what I'm saying. This is a 10-year-old car, and you know, it was designed in 2006, you know, and released in 2007. So, you know, compared to today's standards, you know, there's a lot better out there. I will definitely agree with that, okay? But you can definitely get rid of the argument that this car is a Chrysler car. This car has nothing to do with that. You know, this was right before, this is actually released right before the FCA, you know, had bought Ferrari and Maserati. Now, the FCA is Fiat Chrysler Auto Group, and I know a lot of people say, you know, well, all Maseratis have Chrysler parts, and they're what they're really referring to is the older, or sorry, the newer models, the Ghibli, Levante, and the Quattroporte. You know, it does have integrated parts from the FCA because it saves costs and they went a new route with a few things. Okay, you know, understand that. Buttons, infotainment, blah, blah, you know, I've defended those cars plenty of times before, you know, because I have one, and, you know, those things don't make a difference to me. The buttons could be made out of plastic. It doesn't, you know, like that. That's fine. You know, the infotainment works just fine, which that's what I wanted to do. You know, I'd rather have that, you know, than something that is made out of platinum but doesn't function well. You know, this is what those cars are for. They need to be daily driven, they need to be daily used, and they need to last. So if they do the job, it doesn't matter what they're made out of to me. But going back to this car is, you know, it was originally designed by Ferrari. The engine is the V8, naturally aspirated V8, that was actually supposed to be a Ferrari engine. You know, this is one of those things to where, you know, right when they were getting ready to release it, the FCA had took over, and, you know, things flipped or flopped, and this was supposed to be a Ferrari car, but it turned into a Maserati car. You know, and I know that there are a lot of people out there that will know more of the specific details with everything, and they'll leave it in the comments for sure. But this car is not the car that you say that kind of stuff with. This is not, you know, I guess Chrysler car. It's so weird that people would say that. And I mentioned Doug DeMuro because everybody brings him up. You know, this car, like I said, is 10 years old. This was not designed at the time that, you know, they did everything with this. All the newer cars are like that. So it's weird because it's kind of like a respect your elders video. Like, you know, you know that this car is the OG, and because it's still around today, people are going to compare it to a lot of new cars, but it's not what this is. Now, I think Motor Trend just did a review on this car, and it's not this specific car. They did a review on the 2018 refresh, which is a minor refresh. The 2018 has the Chrysler infotainment system in it, and it has a refresh bumper and front bumper and back bumper, and those reviews are actually pretty good. And you know what Motor Trend said is that, you know, don't fix what's not broken. They tested out the car, and they compared it a lot to this car, to the old car that did things well, and it still continues to do things well. So they liked that it kept a lot of the old flavor that this car has. So, you know, naturally aspirated engines, for one, is something that is going out of style, and everybody's going to turbos. You know, the new GT kept that. You know, the exhaust, the Maserati is very, very well known for the exhaust, and the new GT kept that. You know, the only thing they changed were, like I said, a few infotainment system buttons. So you can see this infotainment is super dated, super dated. And they changed this around along with the gear shift. It's different too, and they added a few more buttons down here at the bottom for, you know, I think it's let me see, they added like the driving mode and stuff buttons, I believe, down there. And correct me if I'm wrong, haven't seen one in person yet, but they changed a few things around to refresh it a little bit in the inside. Chrysler parts, doesn't matter? No. But this car, you cannot say that with. So back to what I was saying. This is a video for the new kids, and like I said, it sucks I have to make a video on this, but you know, it was the argument that was brought up a lot when people were making hateful comments towards the Gran Turismo. They were saying it's just a cheap Chrysler this. It got annoying. We're gonna take a quick swoop around the Gran Turismo, and I am going to show you guys the car that everybody that's new to Maserati keeps calling a Chrysler, which is totally far from. 10-year-old design is totally far from what the new models are. Naturally aspirated V8, like I said, it was normally meant for the Ferrari 360. You know, normally meant to be a Ferrari car. Carbon fiber hood, carbon fiber lip. The wheels, of course, it has a 1957 2017 on it. This is the Pininfarina design. Carbon mirrors, carbon doors. Sorry, carbon doors, carbon door handles. Carbon trunk lip. Great sounding exhaust, but we all know that. Stepping inside of here, carbon Alcantara on the door, carbon on the seal there. You do have your pedals, aluminum pedals, Alcantara carbon everywhere inside. And for a 10-year-old design, they did a really good job, you know, for that era. But there's nothing here that you're gonna see that comes from the Chrysler FCA. All these buttons are original buttons in the cars. Look at any other older GT. They're all the same. It's nothing that you can say that would be, you know, relevant for that argument. Everything in here is part of the Pininfarina design. With that said, guys, what do you think? You know, I just wanted to get a point across on the design, the history of this car. It is not what you think it is. It's much more than that, and it deserves to be respected for what it was and what it is today. So with that said, I just wanted to make an independent video telling everyone, like I said, that is new to the brand, that this is not what you think it is. This is pure Italian Maserati Pininfarina design, and it's one of those things that is hard to replace. I'm hoping that with the FCA merger, Maserati can come out with something brilliant when they do replace this car. You know, the 2018 is a refresh, and that, like I said, that's getting plenty of great reviews. I'll drop the link to that Motor Trend article in the description. But you know, I think they'll come out with something pretty good. And you know, with that said, I just want to hear what you guys have to say. A lot of the OGs are definitely going to comment on this and drop some more facts for everybody. You know, I just wanted to make this for the newer crowd who watched a couple of videos or know only Maserati for the newer models that are not really associated with this model, different breed. So comment, guys, let me know what you guys think. Also like the video, get it up there, because everybody needs to see this in particular. They need to know that if you don't know, these cars are different than what the FCA is producing today. Not saying that they are producing bad cars, but you can't compare the two. Also, if you guys like more amateur Maserati Alfa Romeo videos, right here, subscribe. I'll be here. This is Ron's Rides, guys. Checking out. Talk to the next one. Peace.